and welcome back to my channel, Drunk Crafts with Paige. I am Paige, and this week I am making more of an effort to switch up the things that I am drinking week to week for you guys, and I actually stopped by a local winery that makes this cider. I know it's still cider, but it is a pineapple rosé cider, and I love anything that is pineapple flavored. This is so good. Now, I told you guys that I was going to have something special planned for the month of September. For most people, September signifies the end of summer and the beginning of a school year. Well, there is one very particular school that begins this month. September 1st is the first day of Hogwarts. It is when all the young witches and wizards climb aboard the Hogwarts Express and head to Hogwarts. I clearly am a Harry Potter fan, nerd, whatever you want to call me. I even have some Harry Potter apparel on for you guys. And I wanted to make September Harry Potter themed. So every Friday throughout the month of September, we will be doing a Harry Potter themed craft. And what is the first thing that every young witch or wizard needs? They need their wands. We are going to be making wands this week, and if you would like to learn how to make your own, please continue watching. I have brought my own wand that I handcrafted myself as a reference. My sister and I made these at a college event for siblings, and I was actually blown away at how easy it was to customize and create your own wand. Really, the most frequent item you're going to be using is a hot glue gun. So I guess let's just get started. We are going to go ahead and go over the materials first to show you guys just how easy peasy this craft is. I have some pieces of regular old computer paper, blank paper. I have a hot glue gun. This and some spare glue sticks are all I need. It is plugged in and warming up right now. Also, your choice of acrylic paint. Obviously, if you are making a wand, you might want a brown shade or even a black shade. And then basically, the rest of the wand is totally customizable to you or your child. You could pick to have different designs or different colors for the wand handle, or if you're feeling extra fancy, you could color the entire length of the wand a different color other than brown if you really wanted to. Who cares? It's your wand. For our first step, we are going to take our blank piece of computer paper and we are going to roll it from one corner to the opposite. And obviously, the tighter you roll your wand, the skinnier it's going to be. So I'm going to try to start out as tiny as possible. And if you would like, you can make one of your sides a little bit bigger than the other to kind of have it taper, so the very point of your wand is slightly skinnier than the bottom of yours. And I'm gonna retry this. Luckily, there's no gluing or anything yet, so you can re-roll your piece of paper however many times you want. And I am going to just put a tiny little dab of hot glue on this little end to glue your paper roll together. I'm going to leave my one end a little pointy so it comes to a nice taper, but the bottom of my wand I'm going to cut off right here so it's nice and flat. This tapered part, the very end of our wand, you are then going to fill, if you would like, with some hot glue. Just like I said, to give your wand a nice point. as most wands do. And you're gonna go ahead and let that dry. As our tip is drying, we are going to start working on our handle. So you kind of wanna have a nice idea of how long you would like your handle. Do you want your whole hand to fit in it? And I am going to mark off right around where my thumb is, so I can have a little bit of room at the base for a design and maybe a little bit of room at my thumb. So there's my mark for how long I would like my handle. And we're gonna start decorating it once again with hot glue. You could do literally anything. You could have a sleek and sophisticated handle. You could have one that is big and chunky and nice to grip onto. That is the beauty of making these wands. You have so many different options. And I think I would like mine to be a bit more, not thick and chunky, but I want to have something to grab onto. So I'm going to start I'm going to very carefully draw the start of my handle. And we're going to build on from there. I'm just going to kind of go in stripes down the length of my wand. And I'm going to make sure it's all nice and filled in. This is a lot of hot glue. Heads up. I think it would be really cool if maybe I did like a candle drippy kind of effect. So it's not like a perfect circle. It's not a perfect handle. And as mine starts to get filled in, I'm gonna do the same thing that I did to this pointed end, and I'm gonna kind of fill in my bottom so we don't have a giant hole at the base of our wand as well. In this part, because you are just filling up a hole in a piece of paper, might require you to layer, add some hot glue, wait a little bit for it to dry, and then layer on top of it to really be able to fill in that spot. You can even, with this very end piece, if you want to be extra fancy about it, you could add a jewel, a stone, a wooden bead. You could put anything on this handle. As I said earlier, it is totally customizable to you. That is the awesome thing about using the hot glue gun. You can create whatever kind of handle you imagined as a Harry Potter nerd. What wand would choose you? What would it look like? So right now, our very pointed tip is full of hot glue. This other end, our base, is also full of hot glue, and we have our hot glue handle. And now one additional touch that you can do if you want to be extra fancy is a wood grain. Now this technique requires you to be very light with your heat gun, and you're just gonna kind of gently glide it up and down the length of your wand. And you can be totally messy with this. If you want to have kind of a rougher cut looking wand, by all means go for it. But you just kind of very lightly squeeze And it looks a little crazy right now. But just like our handle, we are going to paint over this in a bit. It just kind of, the roughness of your little hot glue pieces kind of makes it look like wood grain. So prior to doing any of your painting with the acrylic paint, please make sure that your hot glue is fully solidified. You don't have any ooey gooey bits, because the last thing you want when you're painting is to touch on some tacky hot glue. So we're gonna let this dry, make sure everything is fully solidified. The hot glue on my wand is totally dry, and now it is time to decorate. So I've got my little bowl for paint here. Clearly, for the wood of your wand, you're going to want either shades of brown, or maybe if you even want to do black. So I have this burnt umber color that I plan on using. And I also have some various shades of purple and even some metallic silver that I plan on using for my handle. All of this, and I cannot stress this enough, I sound like a broken record, is customizable to you. You or your child, whoever is making this wand, can create a handle with the hot glue that they want. They can paint it any color they want to. That is the beauty of this craft. And after all, the wand chooses the wizard. You can decorate it how you envisioned your wand would always be. So I'm going to start out with the wood portion of the wand. I suggest, as you paint these, to do it in sections. You can't very well hold your handle and paint the length of the wood if your handle is wet. Vice versa, you can't really paint your handle while the rest of your wand is still wet. So I would suggest doing a bit at a time, and we are going to personally start with the wood. And now that the wood portion of my wand is mostly dry to the touch, I'm gonna go ahead and start painting the handle. And I think I would like to do maybe like a gradient of purple. We'll see. I just like the different shades of purple, and maybe we'll put some of the metallic silver on there. The hot glue does resist the acrylic paint a little bit, so you might have to do several coats on your handle because your handle is like all hot glue. I'm actually using this other paintbrush to kind of flick some like speckles, some star kind of looking things. I guess you can't really, they're not super obvious against the purple, but it's a very nice, subtle, metallic touch. And now my handle is complete, and we're just gonna let the whole thing dry. All the paint on my wand is totally dry, so we are going to take a look at it. Here is our finished wand. I really love the handle, the different shades of purple, and the speckles of silver that I added to this. It kind of looks galaxy and pretty magical to me. And it really was that easy. You don't need a whole lot of materials, and this whole project is customizable to whoever is making this wand. I have also seen some DIY wands where you use chopsticks instead of a piece of paper and you just hot glue onto the chopstick, but by using a piece of paper, you can literally choose how thick, how thin, how long or short you want your own wand to be, and then you can just hot glue the crap out of it to your heart's content. So now I have two different wands. I have this one that's a little bit darker and more mysterious, and I've got this one that I made a few years ago. So just shows you guys how many options you really have to choose from. Here are some up-close shots of this wand outside in the natural light. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you are looking forward to our Harry Potter themed month. I certainly am. If you aren't yet, feel free to subscribe to my channel and check me out on social media. Links are in the description box below for Instagram and Facebook. I'll see you guys all for the next video. Cheers!